Welcome back to Madrid Pulse, your ultimate source for everything Real Madrid. From breaking transfer news to in-depth analysis of every big story surrounding Los Blancos. Today, we dive into one of the most explosive transfer sagas of the summer, as Manchester City are making serious moves to lure Rodrygo away from the Santiago Bernabeu. Could one of our most talented and decisive attackers really swap Madrid white for City blue? We break down all the latest reports, what this means for Real Madrid, and how this could shake up European football. Manchester City fans could be in for one of the most exciting transfer stories of the summer, as the club has been strongly linked with a sensational move for Real Madrid star Rodrygo goes. Reports from multiple reliable sources, including Fabrizio Romano, suggest that Pep Guardiola has identified the Brazilian forward as a dream signing. The potential transfer is beginning to gather real momentum, especially with the current dynamics at the Etihad and the possibility of some reshuffling in the attacking department. Rodrygo, who has been a key figure for Real Madrid in recent seasons, could bring a completely new dimension to City's already world-class attack. At just 24 years old, he has the perfect blend of youth and top-level experience, having already won La Liga and the Champions League multiple times. His ability to play across the front three, especially on the right wing or as a false nine, makes him an ideal fit for Guardiola's flexible and fluid style of play. What makes this story even more intriguing is the fact that Real Madrid are reportedly open to negotiating if Rodrygo expresses a desire to leave. The Spanish giants value him highly and are said to be looking for a figure around $100 million. For a player of his pedigree and age, this is a significant fee, but one that Manchester City are more than capable of paying if they truly see him as the missing piece to their squad. The potential arrival of Rodrygo could also be connected to how Guardiola wants to evolve his team in the next phase of his reign. After the historic treble in 2023 and another strong campaign last season, the challenge for City is to stay fresh, unpredictable, and ahead of rivals both domestically and in Europe. Rodrygo's qualities make him a perfect candidate for that evolution. His quick acceleration, technical dribbling, and intelligent movement off the ball are traits that Guardiola values immensely. He is also a big game player, having scored crucial goals for Real Madrid in Champions League knockout stages, most notably during their 2022 run to the trophy. For City fans, the thought of Rodrygo combining with Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, and Bernardo Silva is mouth-watering. It would add yet another layer of unpredictability to a team already considered one of the most dangerous in world football. From Manchester City's perspective, this is also a strategic move in the transfer market. Bringing in a player like Rodrygo would not just strengthen the squad, but also weaken one of Europe's main rivals in the Champions League. Real Madrid have long been a powerhouse, and their squad depth and attack is formidable, but losing a player of Rodrygo's caliber would still be a blow. City's ambition has always been about competing at the very highest level and staying one step ahead of rivals like Madrid, Bayern Munich, and PSG. This signing could be a statement that reinforces City's dominance in Europe for years to come. There is also the question of how Rodrygo himself views this potential move. Playing under Pep Guardiola is a dream for many top footballers. His track record of improving players, even those already world-class, is second to none. For Rodrygo, joining City would mean playing in a league that challenges him week in, week out, while also giving him the chance to be part of a side that dominates possession and creates numerous scoring opportunities every game. The Premier League's pace and intensity could push him to develop even further as a player, and he would be stepping into a squad where competition for places would keep him sharp. Timing will be crucial in this transfer pursuit. The summer transfer window is ticking down, and City will have to act decisively if they want to land Rodrygo before the deadline. Real Madrid, for their part, might want to ensure they have a suitable replacement lined up before allowing such a high-profile exit. The fee being quoted, around $100 million, reflects not just Rodrygo's talent but also his importance to Madrid's current setup. However, City's financial strength and ambition mean they can afford to make such a move without hesitation if they are convinced he is the right fit. For Manchester City supporters, the possibility of Rodrygo in sky blue is more than just a transfer rumor. It's a vision of how the club could continue to evolve into an even more complete and unstoppable force. The Premier League champions already have depth, but adding a player of his ability could take them to a level that few teams in football history have reached. If the deal happens, it would be a bold statement of intent, showing that City are not content to stand still but are constantly looking to refresh and strengthen their squad. The coming weeks will reveal whether this is just another headline or the beginning of a blockbuster move that could define the season. One thing is certain: if Rodrygo does make the switch to Manchester, the Etihad faithful can look forward to another thrilling chapter in the club's ongoing rise to footballing supremacy. Nico Paz, a former Madrid gem currently shining in Serie A, and explore why his name still echoes in the corridors of Valdebebas. Nico Paz, the highly talented midfielder who once lit up the Real Madrid Castilla midfield, is now making waves in Italy with Serie A side Como. Despite having left the Spanish capital last summer, his name hasn't faded from the radar of Real Madrid. In fact, the bond between Los Blancos and Paz is far from severed, thanks to a carefully structured exit strategy put in place during his transfer. Carlo Ancelotti made the decision to let Paz depart in the previous transfer window, accepting a $6 million offer from newly promoted Como, who are now led by none other than former midfield maestro Cesc Fabregas. The move surprised many Madridistas at the time, especially considering the promise Paz showed in Madrid's youth ranks. However, it wasn't a total farewell. Real Madrid's hierarchy made sure to insert 3 strategic buyback clauses into the deal, giving them the right to re-sign Paz in 2025, 2026, or 2027. A safeguard that could prove vital if the young midfielder continues his upward trajectory. And that trajectory is looking very promising. In his debut season under Fabregas, Nico Paz quickly became a key figure in Como's midfield. The Canarian-born playmaker registered 6 goals in the league, with only 2 players in the squad scoring more, and added 8 assists, which placed him among the top creators in the entire Serie A. Those numbers have not gone unnoticed in Madrid, where club scouts and executives are continuing to monitor his development closely. While Xabi Alonso has been laser-focused on strengthening his defense in this summer's transfer window, bringing in names like Alvaro Carreras, Dean Huijsen, and superstar fullback Trent Alexander-Arnold, the midfield remains a project for the near future. Alonso knows he will need depth, energy, and creativity in that area if he wants to build a squad capable of dominating both domestically and in Europe. In that context, a player like Nico Paz, who already understands the club's DNA, could be a valuable asset. But things are not that simple. Como, aware of Paz's rising stock, are determined to keep hold of their star man. According to reports from Mundo Deportivo, the Italian side is actively seeking to break free from Real Madrid's influence in the deal. Cesc Fabregas is said to be pushing for full control of Paz's rights. At the moment, Real Madrid still retain 50% of the player's ownership and hold 2 more buyback options. Fabregas and Como want to buy out that remaining 50% and delete the clauses that would allow Madrid to bring him back in the coming years. However, this won't come cheap. If Madrid were to agree to give up those rights, they would demand at least another $6 million, the same amount they received last summer, plus a potential premium to cancel the buyback clauses. Whether Como will be willing to meet that valuation remains to be seen. Still, for Real Madrid, there's no urgency to make a decision. As things stand, they hold all the leverage. Should Paz continue to perform at a high level during the 2025-26 season, particularly in a more competitive Serie A campaign, Madrid will have a perfect opportunity to bring him back. This time, as a more mature, well-rounded player ready to contribute to the first team. For fans of Madrid Pulse, this is the kind of long-term thinking that reflects the brilliance of Madrid's current transfer strategy. Letting young players develop elsewhere while maintaining a line of return ensures that only the most ready and deserving talents wear the white shirt. Nico Paz may not be wearing it now, but don't be surprised if he finds his way back to the Bernabeu sooner rather than later.